50, 45. There goes Davis. Oh, my God. Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow. Oh, my God. Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see.
Oh, welcome in everyone to a brand new edition of the Dream Wager, episode 537. Today is Monday, June 23rd, 2025, and the Oklahoma City Thunder are your NBA champions. Kid, it's a hot one, though. I'm not going to lie. I was feeling a little faint earlier today. I need some water.
Yeah, I didn't experience that, but definitely sweated a lot today. Definitely a hot one. Crazy heat wave out here in the East Coast. Hopefully everybody's keeping cool. Nobody's feeling like they're about to faint like Dylan earlier. But OKC are your 2025 NBA champions. Salute to them.
Yeah, we'll get into the game. Real quick, kid. I know we talked about it before we went, but you're gonna have to hold that mic.
Yeah,
Sounds like you're far away.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to hold it.
Yeah.
I'm not a rapper, but I'm gonna hold the mic.
New location. Seems like
gotta be in the room, dude. I think upstairs right now is 90.
it's over 100.
Yeah, I think it's 96 degrees upstairs. Had two ACs running. That wasn't gonna help. So I was like, you know what? Let me just leave everything off.
Mm-hmm.
And
save some money.
Save it for Thursday. I think Thursday is gonna be like 70 something, low 80s.
Good, better,
manageable.
Yeah,
this right here, we can't do it. We can't.
No. But yeah. Other than that, though, you mentioned it. NBA champs OKC. We'll talk about the game. Got a Kevin Durant trade. We talked about that. Got some NFL news I want to talk about real quick. That is the dog days of summer. We got the draft though. The NBA draft is this Wednesday night in Brooklyn. Are you gonna make it out there?
No, absolutely not. I'm hoping I'm not in Brooklyn during the day.
Oh, it's gonna be a zoo if you are.
Yeah, I'm most likely gonna be like more towards the Bushwick area, not towards like by Flatbush by the Barclays. So hopefully we're avoiding the Barclays in Flatbush area.
Yeah, so we'll do our little mock draft of it. I know we usually do NFL mock drafts of our own, but since Elvis's team is picking in the top 10, we'll have our own little mock draft for you. We'll have some bets going into Wednesday. We have some Monday MLB plays for you as well. Maybe some WNBA plays if Elvis has any. I don't, but yeah. Okay, let's talk about it. Last night, what a game. OKC 103, Indiana 91. It was a good first quarter, good second quarter, and they were even up. Indiana was up. At half, they were up. And then what a third quarter. That it all went downhill for Pacers after that. Third quarter, 34-20. And I don't want to say it was because of the Halliburton, but it's hard not to say it. We'll talk about the injury in a minute, but I want to just shine on the game SGA had. 29 points, 12 assists, 5 rebounds. His IQ on the court yesterday was phenomenal. Only 1 turnover, too. That was a big thing. I know he was turning the ball over in his losses, but Jalen Williams had a good game, 20 points. We had double digits from Alex Caruso, even Cason Wallace. He had 10 points as well. Chet Holmgren, he wound up going over. The one time we fade him, he does have 18 and 8. That was a good performance. Luke Dort, he wound up having, I don't know if you saw it in that second quarter, that he just chucked it up, that three.
It was a rainbow. It was a rainbow.
Yeah, rainbow three. But, I felt like Pascal Siakam tried to put the team on his back for the first half, and he did. But even Benedict Martin, he did all he could do off the bench. TJ McCollum had 16 as well. Andrew Nembhard had 15. But Miles Turner didn't show up. Aaron Nesmith, not enough scoring from him either. And once the Energizer and Tyrese Halliburton, when he went down, it was too much to make up in a game 7 at that. So what a hell of a season, I'll say, for the Pacers. Nothing to hold your head about. Also, I didn't like the camera just being on, like, especially TJ McConnell crying so much. It was like a little weird for me, right?
Yeah, it was a little too much, but
a little too much.
They gotta sell it.
I get that.
Give credit, Oklahoma City Thunder. I think it was a great win, especially a great second half. third quarter for them. Let's start to the beginning of the game. I don't want to do what ifs, people, but one thing I could say, Halliburton was on his way to have an historic Game 7. He was 3 for 5 from the field, had 3 for 4 from the 3-point line, 9 early points. He was looking good. Terrible way to go out, and I hope he recovers well. Most likely going to be out for the remainder of next season as well,
Yeah.
with a right torn Achilles. Halliburton, hope you recover well. Pray for you to recover,
Yeah, it was
hopefully fast.
today.
But
There is Achilles.
yeah, it sucks, but it is what it is. Now for the game, I love how the Pacers, kind of was able to take a hit. Cause seeing your star player to go down and you didn't buckle, I think you got to give Rick Carr a lot of credit. Cause you know the game never got out of hand from that moment, especially in the first half. Like you said, Pascal Siakam started putting his team on his back. TJ McCollum went on I think like a 9-0 run or 8-0 run by himself, a few steals, kept getting to his spot in the paint and getting that easy two for him. Was able to get a couple shots over Chet Holmgren as well. I think the Pacers did everything they could, especially in the first half, to not let the game out of control. But in the second half, though, without Tyrese Halliburton, it just they didn't have enough. OKC was too good of a team. They was gonna break out eventually, and we saw it in the third quarter when they was able to get on that 9-0 run, stretch the lead, the biggest lead of the game, to double digits, and from there on, the game was honestly over. Like you said, shout out Matherin. He showed up. We hit on his over there, Dale. 24 points. He led the team. TJ McConnell, like I said, he had a huge game, 16 points. He gave everything he had. 8 for 13 from the field, 6 rebounds. Give credit to Pascal Siakam. After Halliburton went down, like you said, all the weight was really on his shoulders. You saw even the offense struggle a little bit because the ball movement wasn't there. So give credit to OKC. A hell of a season, and SGA with another MVP performance.
Yeah, they're fantastic. OKC. I mean, they 19-2 they went in games after a loss this season, regular season and postseason. It's the best record in such games in a single season all time. So
and I'm pretty sure this team didn't lose back-to-back games all year.
And SGA, he's the first player in NBA history. He won the scoring title. He won MVP, Finals MVP. He won the Western Conference MVP, multiple Game 7s, all in the same season. So
I know a lot of people, even me myself, are gonna be like, we're not gonna give him the credit or the flowers, especially right now. But SGA might have just put one of the greatest seasons together in all-time history. I know we're not going to give him that flowers or praise it like it is, but when we sit back, maybe 5, 10 years from now and see what he accomplished just in one season, let's not forget this team won 68 games as well. We're going to be like, wow, that was one of the greatest seasons of all time from a very young superstar in SGA.
There have been 57 instances in NBA history of a head coach having 2 or more consecutive 50-season losses with a single team. Only one of those coaches later won the title with the same team. OKC's Mark Denault, if I'm pronouncing his name right. But so that was pretty cool too. This team's gonna be around, kid. I mean, they have 2 picks in the first round this year. This might be the worst team to go to win a title for this dynasty. I'm calling it now. They're going to be a dynasty.
You know what? Hearing that statement probably sounds crazy to a lot of people out there, but let me break it down a little bit. What he means by worse is Oklahoma City will be a better team next year.
Yes.
They're going to be more experienced. They might add a veteran or 2. Who knows? They're going to draft, like Dylan says, 2 first-round picks. So what he means by worse is they're going to be a better team next year. And the year after that, I think they will be better as well. So, pump the brakes, people out there. Be like, worst team? What do they mean by that? The Oklahoma City team is young. They're going to get better. I think even the coaching staff is going to get better. They might lose some key pieces still, but there might be an all-star caliber player that be like, you know what? I think Oklahoma City is a prime location to win a title. They might take a discount
Yeah.
to go to OKC. I know they might not have, the afties and the limelight at night.
You
but
don't
at the
need
end of the day,
to.
if you want to win a championship,
Yeah.
I think the championship window, like you said, though, a dynasty is possibly in the brewing.
And the reason I say worse is because Indiana took them to 7 games. The Nuggets took them to 7 games. They're going to get better.
A hurt Nuggets team.
Yeah. So they're going to be better. And we're going to look back and be like, damn, 2024-25 team, they weren't the best. And they're out here set records.
Real quick, though.
That's just crazy.
You think they'll win another 68 games next year?
They could. I don't doubt it. I think they're going to be better. I give them every opportunity. If they stay healthy, SGA, Jalen Williams,
That's the
Chet,
thing. They all under 26. I think Alex Caruso's what, 30, 31?
That's a 2-time champ.
2-time champ. And I ain't gonna lie, Caruso, I ain't like to sneak this. You did to the talking about, now I got a real one. Nobody can say nothing. That was a sneak this right there.
For the people in the media that don't give them the credit.
That's crazy.
It's the bubble. I count it. A lot of people don't.
Yeah. This is my take on the bubble, and then we can move on.
Yeah.
Look back at the bubble. That was one of the highest quality basketball we have ever seen.
I agree.
People just, they make jokes about it. But if you sat down and you watched that playoff run, everybody was focused. Everybody was at their best. We saw multiple players average 40 points a game throughout the series. You saw TJ Warren look like a damn superstar for about 3 weeks. So it was no distractions. It wasn't no this off the court. It wasn't, we going here at night. No, it was straight ball. And I think, in my opinion, we saw basketball be played at one of the highest levels in history.
And every time an NBA player or an ex-vet winds up going on a podcast or a show and they talk about their time in the bubble, they said it was the highest IQ of basketball they've played in a very long time.
Yeah, most of the guys will say that. And there's always a few that be like, we didn't want to be there. But majority of them are going to say, like, we was locked in. We was ready to ball.
Yeah. So, yeah, I like Alex Caruso. I like the little sneak this, if I'm being honest. Did you see Isaiah Hartenstein? Baby, he was knocked
out. He's like me, man. Past 10 is past bedtime.
But all that noise, you're not waking up.
He got the headphones. He probably got earbuds in. And you got to remember, as a kid.
Yeah, you tired. You need your sleep.
As a kid, there's bigger, better things on his mind.
Even though his dad just captured a ring.
He don't give a hoot. I can tell you right now, Hartenstein Jr. doesn't give a hoot. Maybe if he was like 6.
Yeah.
Right now,
he don't give a fuck.
He wants his bottle. He wants his towel.
And he wants to go to bed.
And he wants to go to bed.
He like, yo, y'all got me on this stage. And SGA was trying to prop his head up. You saw that?
Yeah, he try to look, because you don't want him, you don't want him to
not the neck. The neck gets crazy.
Yeah, so especially with the baby.
Yeah, I saw that was hilarious. You got to imagine the wife is just looking at like Isaiah, like, come on, watch our son's head, my boy. What do we do?
They gotta give him this one moment.
Yeah,
who knows?
Yeah,
who knows?
Shout out the Knicks. We let you have him.
No,
we all
from you.
We offered him more money. He wanted to go win a ring.
Y'all offered him more.
Yeah, we offered him more money.
Him more than 70-something million.
It was,
Honestly, I'm not surprised. Y'all gave OG $210 million.
We gave him 4 years, 80-something, and he took like 10 million less to stay, go.
Also on a 3-year deal.
On a 3. Hey, I don't mind it.
I
can't be mad at him.
He could get an extension next year.
Could.
He's a champ. Value went up. Timothy Moscow.
Yeah, it did. Now, for Pacers, they went to the title this year. Last year, Eastern Conference Finals. Do you think we see them get back there? Because the East is wide open right now, because Tatum is gone for the year. Halliburton is gone for the year. Damian Lillard is gone. All tearing their ACL. All wearing 0. That's kind of crazy. All tearing their ACL. Their Achilles. So, that opens it up for it. Knicks. or 76ers a comeback season if Paul George stays, or maybe an up-and-coming Detroit Pistons. Who knows? But what are we thinking here for the Pacers?
Realistically, I think the Pacers are a playoff team. Way constructed. They have an elite coaching staff. Well, I'm gonna say great coaching staff. They have one of the deepest teams in the NBA. So there's no doubt in my mind, depending on how they start, because they did start slow this year, they're gonna be a top 6 seed, top 5 seed. Now, are they gonna be contenders without Halliburton? Would I be shocked if the Indiana Pacers somehow make it to the second round next year without Tyrese? Absolutely not. But to make another deep playoff push,
It's hard.
I'll be totally surprised by that. So I'm gonna say top 6 seed next year, first or second round exit, because the team is so deep, especially if they're able to keep everybody like Matherin, Obi, McCollum, Neesmith, Nimhard, Pascal's already locked in.
They need more scoring, though.
I wouldn't be surprised after, even though he's been the longest tenured Pacer, he had a good playoff run, but a terrible finals. I wouldn't be surprised if they move Miles Turner
and
get a little younger at the center position, and then see what they could build from that.
It is this contract year, and they were negotiating.
He's a free agent.
But
right.
yeah, and especially with what he probably wants, I would move on from Miles Turner.
Yeah,
from what I saw,
that's somebody who's gonna get. Not saying what he's worth, but at the end of the day, this is what the market value for a productive, good center. He's gonna get upwards of $40+ million a year.
That's crazy to
me. If
he
gets a 5-year deal, that's 200 M's.
Yeah, that's crazy.
If I was Miles Turner, I would take a discount, take a 5-year 160, and stay in Indiana and finish out your career there. I think Indiana would take care of him at a discounted rate. If he wants that, cat money.
He's not getting no cat money.
A team out there give him 45-50.
That's crazy, though. Don't you think?
It was great. I'd say y'all crazy for giving OG 45.
But OG's better than him.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. We talked about ratings, too, in the beginning of, the finals and, 2 small market teams.
Some people say this is the best final in 10 years.
Can you guess? The viewership just came out. Can you guess how many people watched?
For Game 7 or the final?
Game 7.
Game 1 was 8 million, correct?
Mm-hmm. Something along those lines, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to say a little less than double. I'm going to say 14.8.
16.3.
Double. Wow.
Most watched NBA game final since Game 6 of the Raptors final against the Warriors since 2019.
Wow.
And that was 18.5.
Shit. Damn. Well,
Kawhi.
Also, the Warriors was a chance on the three-peat, too.
Yeah. So 18.5 they watched Game 6. And this only got 16.3. But this beat this. I mean, 18 point. Yeah, that's the most.
That's one of the most watched finals in the last 10 years.
18.5 is crazy, bro.
That's almost Super Bowl numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So give credit, because a lot of people are saying, "Oh, I'm not going to tune in. This is a whack finals." Everybody and their mother was watching Game 7. So I want to give a shout out to Oklahoma City Thunder and the Indiana Pacers for proving, not just showing, proving small market teams can contend for championships, and you don't need to go out there and sign a superstar or two to contend. You could build up. Look what Oklahoma City just did. They traded away Russ. They traded away James Harden. They traded away Paul George. They slowly build a great young team, and look at them now, NBA champions with still the youngest core in the league right now. So they're set up to win, and to win for a couple years.
We also had a Kevin Durant trade a few hours before the finals. It's trade season, kid. And you were right. Good job. The Phoenix Suns are sending, or they sent already probably, KD to the Houston Rockets for Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, the number 10 overall pick in this year's draft, and 5 second-rounders. Honestly, at first, I was like, damn, that's a lot. And I was like, oh, second-rounders. but still,
realistically, you gave up Jalen Green,
you had to. You
who's
had
gonna
to.
who's gonna be maybe not an all-star caliber player.
He's a good scorer,
Yeah,
though.
yeah. Put it this: in the next 10 seasons, I wouldn't be surprised if Jalen Green makes 3 to 4 All-Star teams. Not going to put him up, star level maybe, not there, but he's capable of average 20, 23 points a game, have a highlight reel. So I think overall, I think it's a great trade for the Houston Rockets because we saw under how much Jalen Green underperformed, especially in the first round against second round against the Warriors. And I think this is everything the Houston Rockets needed. You got Ide Doku. To me, he could win a championship. He's a championship caliber head coach. Let's see what they do with Fred VanVleet. But I think Ahmed Thompson, you got Segan at the 5 position. Now Kevin Durant. I think you set yourself up. I'm not gonna put them right there and put like, oh, they should be the favorites, but it's no doubt in my mind the Houston Rockets are contenders right now. So I think it was a great trade for the Houston Rockets. And now for the other side, like I said, I like Jalen Green. Dylan Brooks to me I would have liked if I was a Houston Rockets fan to keep Dylan Brooks. I know you're not too fond of him, Dill, but at the end of the day, you need a Dylan Brooks on your team. That's a guy you want on your team in Dylan Brooks, and I think him and Kevin Durant at the 3 and 4 position in the starting lineup would have been great, especially come playoff time. But like you said, overall, for 4 or 5 second round picks, Dylan Brooks and Jalen Green, to able to get a superstar that averages 26 to 28 points a game, I think the Houston Rockets are a little better of a team today.
There are also reports that Bradley Beal is expected to be traded or bought out by the Suns, which I think makes sense from their perspective.
I'm gonna say he gets brought out because a trade would have got done. It would have been got done, and honestly, I don't think a lot of teams are interested in Bradley Beal or giving up a lot of assets for Bradley Beal because there's teams out there that were willing to give up a lot for Kevin Durant. You saw what Desmond Bain went for. I don't know. There's a lot of teams lining up to give up, multiple first rounds or second round picks and a veteran or two for a Bradley Beal. He's been trending downwards for 2 years. There's no doubt in my mind that Bradley Beal is still an all-star caliber player, but have we seen that in the last year and a half? No.
The current lineup, I guess, projected for the Rockets: Fred VanVleet, Ahmed Thompson, Jabari Smith Jr., Kevin Durant, and Segan. I like it. Plus, you got the coach.
With a defensive-minded coach.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, the Rockets were really able to land KD with keeping Jabari Smith Jr. and Tyree Easton, two young guys that they like. You're able to get all of that. Yeah, you get rid of Dylan Brooks and Jalen Green, and I guess the Suns could build around him and Devin Booker, but I like it. I think that he fits perfectly with this team. I mean, Ahmed Thompson, Segan, and KD are a crazy combo. And I guess the Suns now, their projected lineup, you got Devin Booker, Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, Nick Richards, and Ryan Dunn. But it all essentially it did come down to the Heat actually and the Rockets. So the Spurs were actually on the third. Are you surprised that? Well, hold up. Before we get to Heat, do you think this will? What does this mean for Kevin Durant's legacy? This move, because he jumps around a lot.
Well, this is the first time he's been traded, right? So I think
didn't he get traded to or try to sign and trade?
We did trade him to Phoenix. I'm sorry. Yes. This is the second time he's being traded. And I think at the end of the day, anytime you're traded, it has to be a little stain on your legacy. A team is willing to give you up. Clearly, that's not a great sign. But I think Kevin Durant, for his legacy's sake, I don't think he has to win another championship. Yes, it would be nice if he's able to win it somewhere outside of Golden State just to get his monkey off that back. And, I think if he's able to win one outside of Golden State, I think he'll be considered a top 10 player of all time. But I think his legacy, it is what it is, though. I don't think he's that caught up on winning a championship.
No, I know
think he
he's
just
not,
wants to-
but I'm asking for you, like, because I agree. I think at certain point he's going to go down as one of the guys, top 10 scorer of all time. We know he could ball. I'm no one I don't think is questioning that. And if you are, I think you're kind of a fool. But you get traded twice. You know, you're not the best locker room guy. I think this actually helps his legacy. Hear me out, because he's going to a team that got eliminated. Now, if he would have went to a team that just beat the Warriors and went on to go to the Western Conference, I'd be like, oh, you're doing the same thing that you did.
Yeah, you gotta look at it from this perspective also, Dill. Honestly, they got eliminated, but you got traded from a non-playoff team now to a number the second seed.
Yeah, but that underachieved. Now, if he would have went to a team like, let's just say Indiana Pacers, who went all the way, I'd be like, oh, he did the same shit again. I think that would have hurt his legacy more. But I think this actually helps his legacy because he's going to a team that got knocked out.
I say the only way it helps his legacy if he's able to take the Houston Rockets to the bare minimum of Western Conference Finals. Let's just say for the sake,
Yeah.
you know, the Houston Rockets get eliminated in the first round again, and they're a top 3 seed. That's gonna hurt his legacy.
100%. But I think he has an opportunity to upset the Warriors, especially if they go and face him again.
No, I would love to see that.
Yeah, me too.
Personally, at the end of the day, if Kevin Durant is not able to win another championship, I think his legacy is fine what it is. Yes, it's going to be slightly stained because everybody's going to say you joined the 73 and 19. But if he's able to get this Houston Rockets team over the hump to win a title, he will be considered a top 10 player of all time.
Well, let me ask you the question. Will Kevin Durant win another NBA championship?
See, will he? And with the Houston Rockets, is 2 different questions.
So it's a 2-parter. Will he in general, and then will he with Houston?
I'm going to say yes to both.
Both.
I'm going to say yes to both. Just because Ime Udoka, he's a champ. Like I said, in my opinion, I think he's a championship caliber head coach. You were just a 2nd overall seed. You have a pretty good team the way constructed right now.
Yeah.
And we both know the Rockets have some cap space. Don't have a ton, but they got some money to work with. So I wouldn't be surprised if they add a couple veterans out there that's willing to take a slight discount. Remember, Texas no big taxes.
And if you get rid of Fred VanVleet,
I think they bring Fred VanVleet back on a discount. Remember,
it's actually coming up. The deadline is either today or Wednesday. It's like
yeah,
the 23rd,
so I think they're gonna bring them back on a discount. And if they're not able to,
go get Chris Paul.
Yeah, that's a great idea. This free agency class, I'm not gonna say is loaded, but it's a lot of solid
players.
It's a lot of solid players. It's not superstar heavy, but there's a lot of
veterans too.
A lot of solid role players, a lot of 6-man of the year caliber type players out there. One of my favorite players that's going to be a free agent, I think any team could use him, is Jair Alexander. We saw him in the
Nikhil Alexander.
I said Jair. Yeah, Nikhil.
You're ready for football, kid.
He's a free agent. As a Brooklyn Nets fan, I want him. That's a key player. He could start play both ways. For any team out there, especially like the Rockets, who could be in championship position, that's a player you want on your team to play both sides of the ball, especially come playoff time, because he's been there and done that. He has the experience. So there's multiple guys out there that's on that level that the Houston Rockets could go pick up, 15, 20, 10 to $20 million a year type players.
Yeah, even a guy I was talking about, I think an episode or 2 ago, Naz Reid. He's going to go get the bag. That's 2 Minnesota players. That's a team I think could see a little regression next year, especially if they lose some key role players. A-Rod got to break the bank. Hey, maybe AC, Alex Caruso might be like, you know what? Got one here. Might be time to move on. Imagine he's the factor.
Well, I'm telling you right now, they're going to have to pay Chet. They're going to have to pay Jalen Williams. They're going to have to pay these guys.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I was talking about earlier before I talked about legacy. I got down a rabbit hole, but the Heat were actually very close. But it came down, Sham said, to the Heat refusing to include Jaime Jaquez, Nikola Vucic, Hayward Highsmith, and the 20 pick overall. And I want to ask Ed how he feels about this, but Jaime Jaquez, I get, though. The kid's a baller, and they love him in Miami. But if you have an opportunity to get a top 10 player, arguably of all time, it always seems like Miami strikes out on these type of superstars.
Yeah, this is another one.
Outside of LeBron.
Yeah, this is another one where Pat Riley and the Miami Heat can just come up a little bit short. We saw it. Damian Lillard, he wanted to go to Miami. Kevin Durant, a couple years ago when he went to Phoenix, he wanted to go to Miami. Kyrie, he wanted to go to Miami. Who else wanted to go to Miami? It seemed like everybody wanted to go to Miami, and they're not able to get any of these deals done. And they're like, look, Jimmy Butler, he wants out of Miami. So, as a Heat fan, I know it's probably tough out there, but realistically, let's just say you would have made that deal with Kevin Durant, Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo. Would the Heat be, honestly, maybe, man. The way the Heat is set up right now, I'm kind of a little surprised why they didn't pull the trigger. I understand you want to keep your young core, which is pretty good, but with Kevin Durant, you will be a top 4 seed and contend in the Eastern Conference. The way you're constructed right now, I think you might be a playoff team. There's a lot of injuries in the East.
Yeah, it's wide open.
It's wide open. So a healthy Miami team, I give them a shot. But a healthy Miami team with Kevin Durant, top 4 seed.
Hold up, I'm gonna call Edison. I'm gonna see if he's he got to be up, right? It's 4:30.
Oh no, he's definitely up. It's just, is he working or not? Is he around? Is he busy? By the way, people,
this is our resident Heat fan.
Yeah, this is like a real Miami.
Your call has been
through the good and the bad.
Well, he didn't pick
funny.
up.
Sometimes he watches the show.
Yeah,
he commented a few times. So,
well,
we tried to give you a call.
Yeah, we tried to, kid.
We wanted to hear the Miami Heat fan perspective. Are you upset? Are you happy? Is keeping Jaquez worth it, or would you like to go?
Because I know he has thoughts.
He would have gave us a hot take.
Yeah, he would have gave us a hot take. Well, we'll see if he calls me back.
In my opinion, I think Ed would have. He would have said, "You know what? Let's just keep our young core." Just because the East.
Really, I actually disagree. From everything that he said online and from just having conversation with him, I think Ed is frustrated at the fact that Miami can't secure. How many times when Dame was a free agent?
He's definitely frustrated. I just don't feel like Kevin Durant was the one deal breaker.
Yeah, that's fair
for him. Maybe if KD was like 33, 32, maybe. But I think KD's 37, and to me that's fine. But at the end of the day, I don't know if he was willing to trade that many young pieces for a 37-year-old Kevin Durant.
Yeah, so we'll see. But shout out the Rockets, they got it done. And I mean, it was down to Houston and Miami, and Houston wound up getting the deal done. So shout out them, and good luck to KD, man. Good luck to him. I got some NFL news. If Ed calls, we'll go back to it. But Travis Hunter, he officially signed his deal. $30.57 million signing bonus.
Damn.
I mean, it's paid entirely up front. It makes him the first non-quarterback not drafted first overall to receive his entire signing bonus up front. That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah. At the end of the day, they did sign a DB and a wide receiver. So
you saw the tweet that they put?
So they did get a 2-for-1 package. So it's only right. If you're gonna play him both sides of the ball, which I think they intend to, it's only right to pay him up front. So great job from the Jacksonville Jaguars taking care of their young stud early on. I think it's a great gesture just because we know the potential is there for Travis Hunter, and I honestly think he's gonna be special.
Yeah, I'm trying to find something. I had something to talk about, but by the way, unfortunately, Coastal Carolina, they got swept unfortunately, in the College World Series by LSU. Did you watch the game
Nah,
or no?
I'll be
So,
honest. It was a busy weekend,
yeah.
but I seen that LSU was dominating.
Yeah, they won a very close. I think it was like a 1-0 game 1, and then yesterday they closed it
Like
out
5-2.
5-3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
5.
My real take, I didn't like how you have a national championship game at 2:00 in the afternoon. That I get it, game 7's on, but Sunday Night Baseball was on, but that just can't happen. I mean, what are we doing here? That's one. And they threw out the first base coach and the head coach in the first inning from Coastal Carolina.
That's wild.
And he came out and he gave out like this whole speech and lecture. And, after one warning, they threw him out. I think that's a tough look if you're a ref. Under a College World Series, last game of the year, I think you should have more poise and kind of give the guy a break. You missed 3 calls in a row, and he let you have it, and then you threw him out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he did his job, but the Coastal Carolina coach is huge, and he comes in. When they get ejected, they come out and they run up to the ump, right? And the second or third base comes running in and tries to do something. Trips and falls, gets embarrassed in front of everyone, trips and falls, and then they give the coach a two game suspension because it looked like he threw him.
He just
tripped. So the coach comes out after the game and says, all-time quote. He says, "I shouldn't be held accountable for a grown man's athleticism." All-time quote. And then when you look back in the replay, the guy just tripped. The guy didn't even touch him. Oh,
damn.
I got to use that. I shouldn't be held accountable for a grown man's athleticism. All-time quote. But yeah, that's it. Anything else you had over the weekend, kid?
It was just hot. Though. And not for nothing. Kind of sucks. No more basketball. It's gonna be a little.
What do you mean? There's WNBA.
Yeah, there's WNBA, and not for nothing. WNBA has been a little exciting. Even the Golden State team doing its thing. Caitlin Clark's been special. Liberty's been dominating. So WNBA definitely some action deal. But you're not about to tell me.
And World 3.
World 3, come on.
All right, kid. All right, kid. Before we get to the draft, quick word from our sponsor. We are brought to you each and every episode by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. There's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebration, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks just a kick, just like how we like our lives. Whether it's Huckleberry playing around the golf with the boys or an elderberry watching the NBA draft, it doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, kid, let's get to it. NBA draft. Oh, he said, hell yeah, my bad. I was in the shower. Okay, hold up. We getting Ed back.
Back live.
Hold up. He said he was in the shower.
Yeah, on a day like this, you need a couple.
You need a few showers.
Yeah.
He called me big dog. Yo, Edison, you're live to tape right now. We're wondering how you're feeling about Miami kind of striking out, and I guess
again.
Yeah, Elvis says once again, and I guess why is Miami striking out?
Miami's striking out because Pat Riley is still in the era of the fucking, I don't know, he's in 1930 when it comes to front office management, when it comes to closing a deal. The man can't close a deal to save his life. That's the problem. Pat Riley is the problem. Front office is the problem. Guys want to play for Eric. Guys want to play with Bam. They've announced that. Ever since Team USA, everyone wanted to come to Miami. Pat Riley can't close the deal. And it's not only his fault. We also don't have the assets that we think we have. We overprice our own assets. Like, we made Khalil Ware untouchable. We made Jovic untouchable. At a point, Haywood fucking Highsmith was untouchable. These are dudes that should never be labeled untouchable, especially in a trade package for a KD, for a Dame, for a Bradley Beal 3 years ago, for a Donovan Mitchell. None of these dudes should be labeled untouchable when none of these motherfuckers have averaged more than 10 points a game.
That's fair.
So that's the problem.
So the final offer, according to Shams, was Andrew Wiggins, Terry Rozier, 2 bench players, the 20th pick. Haysmith and Jaime Jaquez were discussed, but they were off the table. Are you surprised?
Not at all. Not one bit. Not one bit. When I saw the offer, I knew it was going to get rejected right away. And who in their right mind wants that? We saw Terry Rozier. We saw what he did. Yeah. Jaquez was good rookie year. He had a bad sophomore. He's going to have to do more to gain more value. The Haywood Highsmith plays defense for like 9 minutes. He's good, but he doesn't move the needle for any team. None of the guys we mentioned will move the needle for any roster. So when they're looking to make a trade and get a trade package, you need at least one piece that kind of moves your needle as well. And we're not giving that. We're offering Scary Terry, who shot like 14% from 3. Offering Jaquez, who barely played more than 8 minutes in the second half of the season. So we don't even know if he's even really legit NBA ready. He had one good rookie year. Is the sophomore slump real? So I don't know. Miami has me fed up. I'm really considering taking my talents to Minnesota.
Oh, wow.
Nas Reed's from Jersey. But take my talents over there. They got Rob Dillingham. He's swaggy.
Uh-huh.
You know, I don't know how much longer I can take watching Tyler Hero shoot 25 mid-range jumpers a day. I don't know. And then watch this. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
We're going to go and get fucking old-ass DeMar DeRozan.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I believe that's the move since we couldn't make it.
I'm glad you said that, because that was my next guess or next question, because I'm looking at the free agents. There are a lot of veteran guys you could go out and get. What about a Fred VanVleet? I don't know he stays in Houston.
I wouldn't mind a Fred VanVleet, but once again, not a needle mover. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't do anything that Davion Mitchell doesn't do. They both shoot the 3 ball. They're both under 6 foot, and they both play good defense. So it's like we got our VanVleet. I would love VanVleet. We look alike. I'll get his jersey. Like, I'll go to the games. Like, that's my twin. I would love that. But Miami needs something that moves the needle. And if we're focusing on dudes like DeRozan and dudes that are 35 years old plus, we should have just stood with fucking Jimmy for this nonsense.
Yeah.
We would have had our veteran small forward. Instead, we're chasing another one. And it's just chaos, bro. It's just chaos. It's nasty in the 305.
Well, I'm glad we were able to touch base, and I hope you guys figure it out. I appreciate it, Ed. Thank you.
No problem, man. Thanks for having me.
Thank you,
Anytime y'all can call the boy.
I appreciate it. Peace, buddy.
No doubt.
Shout out Ed. Shout out Ed for coming on and giving a real take. That's a real take right there, because he's been through the highs. This man been a Heat fan since 2004. I
was just gonna say he's not a bandwagon Heat fan.
This is like Dwayne Wade is his favorite player. You know, well, yeah. Allen Iverson is his favorite player, but Dwayne Wade is a very, 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 very close second, right? So this is a real Heat fan, and he's giving you an honest take, and he's frustrated. Like I said, he's been through the lows, been through the highs. Man, shout out Ed, man. That was a great take. That was a great take.
And he was kind of calm. I didn't think it was going to be that calm.
He just got out the shower. Before the shower, probably, you know,
the heat. The heat.
Real frustration.
Yeah. All right, kid, let's get to it. The NBA draft is this Wednesday at the Barclays Center, right here in our backyard, the lovely Brooklyn, New York. I'm still in shock. Fucking the Mavs got the number 1 pick, going up 10 spots. Even That's crazy. The Spurs going up.
Real quick, the fact that the Dallas Mavericks got a higher pick than my Brooklyn Nets
is wild. The Hornets.
Yeah, I had the Hornets or the Jazz.
Yeah,
winning the draft. I think most people should have. The worst teams in the league. The fact that the Dallas Mavericks, like I said a couple weeks ago when they won the lottery, people, never once do I ever believe, you know, it's rigged. For the first time ever in life.
Yeah, look.
I was like, you know what? That's a little suspicious. You trade away arguably the most exciting player in the league. I'm just saying Luka's Luka. People will line up around the world to go watch this man play. Isn't it ironic that you trade a generational player and then you happen to win the draft for another generational type player? That
Nah, they def rigged that shit.
You had, I think the exact number was 0.08% to win or 0.8% to win. The Nets had a 7% chance. And we got stuck with the 8th pick.
Yeah.
Make that make sense.
Money talks.
And you had, I think, the Hornets, the Wizards, and Utah or above 8 to 13% chance to win their first overall pick.
And they all went
down. And the Magic went down, got number 1 with a 0% chance of winning it all.
It's crazy. The Jazz, the Hornets, and the Wizards, even the Pelicans went down.
Even the 76ers.
No, 76ers went up. They got the 3rd pick.
No, I know, but they were bad.
They were bad, but they were like I think they were at the 5th pick. They just went up 2, but still a top 3 pick is a top 3 pick.
Man, that's a damn shame.
We all know the bad man from Maine, from Duke University. He plays the 3 or the 4. We all know his name. 6'9", 220. He's 18 and a half years old. Jesus Christ. Cooper Flag is going 1. I mean, we don't really have to talk about it. But...
What was damn, I'm drawing a blank. First overall pick.
Yeah.
Oh, Ward. Remember when Ward draft night was like minus? Wasn't he minus like 5,000 or 50,000?
What year? Which
this
one?
year? Ward, Cameron Ward to go first.
Oh, football. Okay.
To go first overall.
Yeah. He steamed that on draft night. Yes.
Yeah. I think Cooper Flag is gonna double his minus.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. I want to get your thoughts though before we get into our mock and our 2nd and 3rd overall pick and whatever. I'll say, because last year's first overall pick by the Hawks still up for question. Zachary, we'll see. He should be okay, but from 2023 to 2020, I think they're amazing. We got Wemby in 2023. In 2022, we have Paolo Banchero. He's a future superstar. Cade Cunningham, from the first week of this show, how big of a Cade Cunningham fan I am. Anthony Edwards in 2020, he is ridiculous. Then it starts to drop. 2019 Zion can't stay on the court. 2018 DeAndre Ayton. 2017 Marquez Fultz. 2016 your boy Ben Simmons.
He was great for
years. They were great in college. Even Marquez Fultz, great in college. But I'm talking NBA.
Ben Simmons was an all-star.
How many times?
I think 2 or 3.
Stop.
He was. I'm just saying he was.
But he's bad. And
he's
you
bad
know
now.
It, and I know it.
I know, but at a time he was living up. He was living up to it. There's no
2015 Cat. Okay. I'll give it to Cat. He's still an all-star. He's good. Outside of that, Andrew Wiggins, he's a champ, but Andrew Wiggins is nothing to write home about. 2013 Anthony Bennett. Who? 2012, okay, you have a future Hall of Famer, Anthony Davis. I'll give you that. 2021, Kyrie, future Hall of Famer. I'll give you that one. Then again, 2010, John Wall. What happened to him?
John Wall was great. He got hurt.
And he's still hurt.
No, he retired.
Oh, thank God. 2009, I fuck with them, but he just didn't have a year. Blake Griffin, he's good. 2008.
In your eyes, I remember we had a hot take.
Huh?
You said Blake Griffin's a Hall of Famer. I said no.
I still think that. I think he was better than John Wall.
Career-wise?
Yeah.
I gotta really look at it. I'm gonna say just because he made more playoffs appearances.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give him that.
In 2008, I really wish he never got hurt, but he was never the same. D-Rose was amazing in 2008. And then 2007, Greg Oden, and then we could keep going down. But first overall picks, not always a solidified star. Is that fair to say?
Absolutely, especially in the NBA. I think you just broke it down. It's kind of 60-40.
Yeah,
40% chance to get a subpar player at number 1.
So we'll see. I just wanted to break it down because I was like, damn, the last couple number 1 picks, I said They were good, and then I was like, after
Well,
Ant.
the last 2 drafts has been kind of weak.
Yeah.
Especially last year.
Yeah, but the 2 number ones, Wembanyama and Banchero, they're stars.
But I'm talking about last year was weak, and then 5 and on was kind of weak.
Let's do an exercise real quick. The hype for Cooper Flag is huge.
It's up there. It's not Zion. Hype,
okay, that was my thing. So outside of all of them, I would say Cooper Flag and Zion were the biggest.
I'm gonna say Victor, because Victor we saw since we've been seeing since Victor was 16, 17. Oh, this guy's the future. He's an alien. He's this. He's
an
that.
alien.
We kept hearing this, and then when we saw him come, we understood the hype. Cooper Flag, we see the potential, but people were saying Zion's the next LeBron. Nobody's saying that about Cooper Flag.
Bro, he reclassified. He was supposed to be a senior in high school.
I'm not. All
the
I'm
hype
saying
is real.
The hype is real. But you had people, especially for Victor Wembanyama, saying this is the most hype prospect since LeBron James.
All right, so let me ask you, more hype, and I'll go through it. More hype, Cooper Flag or why? Cooper Flag or Wembanyama?
I'm gonna say Wembanyama.
Paolo Banchero, Cooper Flag.
Cooper Flag.
Cade Cunningham.
Because for the record, Paolo Banchero wasn't the sure number 1 pick to
that's a
the week off.
Yeah. Cooper Flag or what was the next one? Or Cade Cunningham.
Cooper Flag.
Anthony Edwards or Cooper Flag.
No,
you know the answer.
No doubt, because it was COVID. Cooper Flag. It was COVID.
Zion or Cooper.
Zion.
Yeah, he's box office.
You agree with?
Yeah, I agree with that. Oh, that was the only one I agree with. DeAndre Ayton or Cooper.
I ain't gonna hold you. The DeAndre Ayton hype was real, but Cooper Flag, not even close. But the hype, DeAndre Ayton was. Let's not forget, people. He was drafted ahead of Luka, Jared Jackson Jr., and Trae Young.
Yeah, that's crazy. That draft class was nuts in 2018.
Yeah.
I'll say this though, and I think there's an argument. 2017, 26. 27 Ben Simmons and Marquez Fultz, the whole year we were like, Marquez Fultz certified, he's going to be number 1 by the Sixers, number 1. There was a lot of hype for Marquez Fultz, and same thing with Ben Simmons. Now they didn't translate and last long in the NBA, but the hype was there. Is that fair to say?
It was there, but not more than Cooper Flag, because I remember Simmons. Ben Simmons LSU was special. There was a lot of comparisons there, but I'm gonna say Cooper Flag was more because at the end of the day, he went deeper in the tournament.
Karl Anthony Towns or Cooper?
Karl Anthony Towns, he won it all.
Andrew Wiggins or Cooper?
He didn't win it all. I'm sorry.
No, he didn't. They lost.
They lost.
Cooper Flag, and I think Cooper's hype was bigger than Karl Anthony Towns. Andrew Wiggins or Cooper? We know the answer.
Because Andrew Wiggins, all I kept hearing, I remember, because I remember this time vividly. First Canadian overall pick.
I'm so glad you're having these takes.
From Kansas. First overall pick from Canada. So the hype was big for Andrew Wiggins being the first Canadian player being drafted number 1 overall. I'm gonna give that one a wash.
Okay. I'm glad you have these takes. I needed this laugh today.
Yeah.
Anthony Bennett or Cooper Flag?
Cooper Flag, but believe it or not, people, we know what Anthony Bennett is. For some reason, it was the hype. Yeah. There was a lot of hype behind Anthony Bennett.
Now, the two that I think it's Zion is clear, and then I think Anthony Davis is clear hype.
Yeah. Anthony Davis was on Team USA.
Yeah.
That's 100%. What you got to know.
All right, kid. So, obviously, you're number 1. You're going. Obviously, they can't pass up Cooper Flag. Okay, let's start at number 2 with the San Antonio Spurs. I'm happy that Rutgers is getting a little shout out here because Dylan Harper has to go number 2, in my opinion. I think he could play the 1. He could play the 2. He's great. He shot 59% from the field last year. He's 6'4.5", 220. He's a big boy. And that's all I'm hearing. You pair him up with Victor Wembanyama, De'Aaron Fox. He's 19 years old. he averaged 21.5 points a game, 5.5 rebounds, 4.5, and he averaged a block. Dylan Harper is the real deal. And if it wasn't Cooper Flag, he would be the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah. Give me Dylan Harper, number 2 overall pick from the guard from Rutgers. I think, like you said, I think this is a slam dunk number 2 overall pick. He's a dual threat, like you said. He averaged a block a game, and I think with the Spurs, CP3 most likely gonna departure from there. We saw them hit a home run with Castle last year.
Yeah, Stephen Castle. Yeah,
I think they're gonna even add to that guard depth. Though I think he's gonna be. Wouldn't be surprised if he's starting at the 2 position.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be Fox, him at number 2, and then we're gonna see Castle come off the bench and be a bona fide stud off the bench and lead the second team. So I think Harper right now is a no doubt second overall pick.
He is just 19 though, so if he doesn't start right away, that's fine. I don't mind him sitting a little bit.
I just don't see De'Aaron Fox being the 2.
Oh no, he's the 1. Stephen Castle, he plays the 1 and 2, but he's more of a 2.
Yeah.
All right, why don't you start number 3, the 76ers? What do you got for him?
76ers is tough. I have 2 ideas. I'm going to go guard from Baylor.
Edgecombe.
VJ Edgecombe. But I also have a small
trade?
Small chance that
Wow.
they trade the 3rd overall pick. Because at the end of the day, I think the Philadelphia 76ers, I'm not going to say they're going to hit a reset button, but after going for Paul George, having a horrendous season, let's just say it. It was a horrendous season. Wouldn't be surprised they try to, instead of drafting number 3, wouldn't be surprised we see them trade out number 3 and get some pieces for that number 3 position. Hey, maybe we'll see one of their key players get moved as well. But give me Edgecombe, guard from Baylor. If not, trade the 3rd overall pick.
Yeah, I think Edgecombe does go there. They like him. He didn't have the best shooting season for Baylor. He is a freshman. It was just his stock was so big. He's a big kid, 6'5.5". He's 200 pounds. He only averaged 16 points this game, but he can get hot. He's a little inconsistent for me, but they like him a lot. And all the things that I've read is Philly likes this kid. So, yeah, I got VJ Edgecombe going at number 3 as well. This is where I think gets a little tricky for the Hornets. What do you got here for the Hornets? They're drafted number 4 overall.
At number 4, to be honest, you could have went a few, routes here. I'm going to play it safe, though, just because we saw the hype throughout the season. We heard, if it wasn't for Cooper Flag and maybe Harper, this guy, during the season, he had a chance to go number 1 overall. Give me Khan. Kneppel from Duke. I think he goes. I think they're going to pair him. Think about the 1, 2, 3 for the potential Charlotte Hornets. It's going to be LaMelo Ball, Khan, and now Brandon Miller. That's a solid potential young core there. So
if they stay healthy, it's a huge if. Especially for the Hornets and LaMelo. But I think this will be a great landing spot for him. I think he'll go in, start day 1, and I think they're gonna need his shooting as well. Be alongside a playmaker like LaMelo Ball. I think it's a great fit. Give me Khan, number 4 for the Hornets. Yeah, I got Kneppel going as well. He's going to be a top 5 pick. If it's not here, then he's going to fall to the Jazz. But they need a catch and shoot guy. He's great from 3. He's big too. He plays the 2 or the 3. You can move him around a little bit, but 6'6.5". He's 220, average 17 points a game. He could dish the ball, and he's kind of a Clay where he doesn't need the ball and he could just move around. And he's a great catch and shoot guy. He's very coachable, so I like Kneppel a lot. So I do. I don't know if it's the best spot because that organization is not good, so I worry about that. But if all 3 of those guys could stay healthy, there is scoring on that team.
Playmaking ability.
I just wish they could stay healthy. That is my problem. So we'll see. But yeah, I got Kneppel going to Charlotte. Let's go to number 5. Interesting because A lot of things that I'm reading is the other kid out of Rutgers, Ace Bailey for the Jazz. The Jazz are up at number 5. I am not going to go that route. I am going to go Trey Johnson, the kid out of Texas. I think he is really good, the shooting guard. He shot 56%. He's not the biggest guy, 6'4", but I think Trey Johnson is good. He averaged almost 21 points a game. I think that's what Utah needs right now. So they got Donovan Klingman from UConn last draft. They got size. They need scoring now. You go get a guy like Trey Johnson, who I don't think it's a reach because a lot of people project him either going 5, 6, or 7. I think Utah takes a shot on him. So, and I'm biased because of what I want next to happen. But I like Trey Johnson. I think he's a hell of a scorer. And he's not the biggest assist guy. He needs the ball in his hands, but that's fine. They don't really have a lot of guys like that anyway. So I'll take Trey Johnson here, the guard out of Texas, to go number 5 to Utah. What do you got?
At number 5, give me the guard, Ace Bailey from Rutgers. Still, we've been hearing it all season long. The 2 guards out of Rutgers might go top 5 in the draft. I think they both go top 5. Give me Ace Bailey at number 5. Still, I think Utah. Don't get me wrong, I don't disagree at all with Johnson pick because he is a potential elite scorer, and hopefully it transitions to the league. But I think Ace Bailey is going to be tough to pass up at number 5. Give me him at number 5, Dill. Wouldn't be surprised if we both flip here. But I think he goes number 5.
Yeah, it's just because, and you're right, at number 6 to Washington, to all my DMV boys out there, I know you want Ace Bailey, so I want that for you too. I don't know if he falls out of the top 5, though. He's a baller. I mean, Ace Bailey is just ridiculous. He shot 54% from the field this year. He averaged 19 points. He's a big guy, 6'8.5", 205 freshman. He's only 18 years old, and he averaged 7 rebounds. That is a lot. Outside of Cooper Flagg, that's the highest in the top 10 that I think will get drafted. He'll go and get you some boards too. He plays predominantly the 3, which they need. I'm biased. I want Houston. I want Washington to get Ace Bailey. So that's why I put him there.
At number 6, still, give me Trey Johnson. I think he falls to number 6. I think this is exactly another perfect spot for him, just because we've seen the inconsistency, especially on the offensive side for Jordan Poole. I think you pair him alongside and make Jordan Poole more of a playmaker, like we saw him alongside of Steph, and maybe see Johnson take more of that scoring capabilities because we know he's capable. I think Johnson lands at number 6. I think he falls right to the Washington Wizards, and I think they don't hesitate to call his name. Give me Johnson at number 6 to Washington.
If Washington want, and by the way, all the guys out there listening from the DMV, if you guys do get Trey Johnson, that's not bad at all. It's either him or Ace Bailey, and you're going to get a solidified scorer who could give you 19 to 20 a game.
Yeah,
and that's what you need.
You're going to get somebody to play the 2, and I think you need somebody at the 2.
Yeah. All right. Where are we? Number 7, the Pelicans.
Willie Green. Shout out Willie Green.
I'm going to go the guard. They need some guard help. I'm going to take the freshman out of Oklahoma, Jeremiah Fears. I think he is good. He's 6'3", not the biggest guy. He's only 180 pounds. I do think he needs to gain some muscle, but he's another guy. He averaged 20 points a game, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Guy could do it all. He has a 3-point shot as well. So he's a guy that could feed Zion the ball if he could stay healthy. I think they need point guard help. So I'll take the kid out of Oklahoma.
I like that, Yo. I'm going a different route with the 7th overall pick. Give me the big man out of Duke. Common. How you say the last?
It's Kasparas Jakunis, I guess. And I'm just that's from Illinois. Kasper Jakunis.
No, come on.
Maluk.
Yeah, Maluk. I don't know. But I think they go big man. You might be right here. As a Nets fan, I have something lined up, so I'm hoping the Pelicans go with the center from out of Duke, 7th overall, and I could lead it deal. With the 8th overall pick, my Brooklyn Nets take, I think the name fits for Brooklyn deal, Jeremiah Fears. I think the name fits perfectly for the Brooklyn Nets. Point guard, we know we got Cam Thompson, who's a free agent. A team out there might throw him the back deal.
Yeah.
We might not be able to offer him that. I think we draft a rookie out of Oklahoma, get him on a nice deal, and he can shoot the 3 ball. He's able to facilitate as well. I think if we lose Cam Thompson, I think Jeremiah Fears is going to be a great addition with the 8th overall pick. If
I love it.
we lose Cam Thompson.
I think you're gonna go guard, but I think you're gonna take the kid out of Illinois, Casper Jakunis. He's good, man. I really like this kid. 17 points, 6 boards. He's physical. He could play the 1 or the 2. So if you guys do retain Cam Thomas, he could slide in as well. I like him. The guy could steal. He's good on defense. He plays both sides of the court. He's a gritty guy. You want to talk about something that fits Brooklyn? This guy fits Brooklyn. I don't think you'll be mad if you wind up getting the kid out of Illinois, but I understand you wanted Jeremiah Fears. The guy's a bucket. You pair him up with Cam Thomas. That's a great one too. So, but yeah, that's going to do it. 9 is Toronto, and then we got Phoenix, and then it goes down and down and down. But OKC, they do have the number 15th overall pick and the 24th. Do you know what number the Knicks have?
28th? 27th?
They don't have a first round pick. They draft in the second round. They draft 50th overall.
Well,
sad organization. Well, you know what it is? We have our sets finding a coach. We're not worried about the fucking
struggling
draft.
to find a coach as well. You better get somebody from that.
Patience.
You better get somebody from that OKC staff.
No, we don't need anybody. Patience is a virtue.
Season 4 months away. 120 days. No coach.
Can't
how
wait.
How you gonna have no coach on draft night?
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
I always ask you, how many days are away from college football? Because our intro is college football. Week 0, August 23rd.
51.
60.
Damn,
you're getting closer every time.
No, I'm getting further away. I said 57 or something like that.
Oh, yeah, you did. All right, well, now you know it's going to be in the 50s next time, so it will be in the 50s.
It'll be 58 or 57.
All right, okay, let's get to the MLB. We have some games on the diamond today. I think only around 9 games, but by the way, how's your Red Sox doing without Devers? I know he hit a home run off them. That was poetic justice.
Yeah, poetic justice. We beat him the first game, struck him out. Chapman struck him out. 102 right past him. He had a good second game. Give him credit. At the end of the day, I think we're only a game and a half or 2 games and a half back from the wild card. So the Red Sox were doing all right. We definitely having a better June than we had in May. So overall, okay, I think we're 1 game over 500.
Yeah, you guys are 1 game over 500, 6 out of the division, but just a half game behind Seattle for that wild card spot. So you're right there.
Yeah, we're right there. Just I think 3 weeks ago we were 4.5 games out. Now we're just a half game out. So we're live. The division might be a little out the window. Realistically, gotta be real, people.
Gotta be realistic. I appreciate that.
But we just gotta make the dance. We're a half game from the wild card. You're muted, kid.
And October is a zoo at Fenway.
Always. I try to.
You've been.
I've been game 3 of the
CS.
ALCS. Yes, sir.
Yeah. I remember that. The videos you sent me were electric. I wish I was there.
It was a zoo.
I got a few plays for you guys though. We'll start with the 7-10 matchup between the Yankees and the Reds. Under 10.5. The number is just too line. I know Nick Lodolo hasn't been great in his last few starts, but 3 of his last 4 home starts did go under this total. Wins really won't be affecting the game, and Yankees are 0-10 towards the under in their last 10. Yeah, they're winning some games, looking a little better, but they're not scoring a bunch of runs. So I'll take the under there for my first game. What do you like here?
My first game is going to be Chicago White Sox taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks. I know Shane Smith is on the mound for Chicago, and he's great at home. But give me Aaron Rodriguez in the Arizona Diamondbacks on the road. I called a great number earlier, minus 135. Right now, minus 144, minus 145. So shop around, people. I think Arizona takes care of business on the road. Don't get me wrong. Shane Smith, Dylan at home. I just don't think they have the bats to keep up with Arizona right now. Give me over Arizona minus 135 on the money line.
All right. Yeah, I kind of like that. I think White Sox are kind of live. Eduardo Rodriguez is terrible. I'm going to take Milwaukee here at home. They're a wagon right now. I mean, just look at the last few games over the weekend, and they were underdogs in all of them. 4 games in a row. They've scored 8 or more runs. 8 runs, 17, 9, 9. They are smashing the ball right now, and they gave us plus money at home against the Pirates, who stink. Yeah, I'll take them minus 1.5.
Face is going, but
terrible.
At the end of the day, Milwaukee has been one of the hottest teams in the league. Though.
Yeah, give me Milwaukee minus 1.5. That's my next play.
My final play of the day. Let's go to them. My Boston Red Sox with Walker Buehler on the mound, taking on. I'm not even going to pronounce it. I'm pretty sure. You know what? I'm gonna try. No Wicks. Going for pretty close, right? With going for the left.
It's Jack Konowitz. I don't know.
I was close. I think I was closer than you, Dill.
Yeah, probably.
Going for the Angels. To be real, people, not the greatest pitching matchup. That's why, in my opinion, I'm gonna take the better team. Give me the Boston Red Sox minus 120 on the money line. Think about it, people. We've been on a West Coast road trip. Just played the San Francisco Giants, so we're getting acclimated to the time frame. We're getting adjusted. Our sleeping schedule is much better. I think we take care of business of the Angels. I think we'll win this series as well. Give me the minus 120 on the money line. Kind of lean the under 9 as well.
Under. I'm actually going to go over, and this is my favorite play of the night. I'm going to take the over. I see 8.5s out there. Between these two pitchers, I'm surprised the total isn't higher. Buehler is terrible on the road. He's given up 8 runs in his last start. He's given up 5+ runs in his last 3 starts. And Jack, he's given up 4+ runs in 3 of his 4 starts. Angels have a bottom 5 bullpen. And the way the Red Sox have been playing, their offense has been good. They haven't really shown a decline since trading Rafael Devers. So I think we're going to see a bunch of runs. So I agree on the Red Sox. I do think they're the right side, but I don't agree on the total. I'm going to take the over. I love it. No, I know. I'm just saying. And then my last play, I'm going to go between the Cardinals and the Cubs. Cardinals are the home dog now, minus 105. Matthew Liberatore on the mound against Ben Brown. I'm going to take them. The Cardinals are rolling right now. I know they lost yesterday in a tough one, but at home, 24-15 straight up. And I guess this is more of a fade on Ben Brown, who really hasn't looked good for the Cubbies. 6+ runs given up in 3 of his 4 road starts. They're not the best, the Cubs against lefties as well. So I just think this might be a good spot for Liberatore. Cardinals are hitting 271 at home this year. So love this offense. Cardinals are a great team at home. I'll take them minus 105. Kid, that's gonna do it. Any last words before we get up out of here? Stay cold.
Yeah, stay cool out there, people. Definitely go outside with a bottle of water or 2. Keep that. And no WNBA plays, but I got to lean. Minnesota taking on Washington. Kind of like Minnesota. I kind of lean the minus 5.5, minus 6, whatever you could get. Washington fucked me last week. Give me Minnesota minus 6 still.
I was looking at the lines real quick, see what I like. Atlanta's really good, and Dallas is terrible.
If anything, Page, man,
over. Yeah,
over.
Page over.
You know what? Let me see your player prop.
Minnesota's a wagon too.
Yeah, I'm telling you, they only minus 6 versus a bad Atlanta team that lost to Chicago last week.
Washington.
Washington that lost to Chicago last week.
Mm-hmm.
Page over 18.5.
Oh, by the way, they removed Angel Reeves missing first basket.
Yeah, I seen that. Yeah,
she's the worst. She made money off the meat buckets, but then gets tight and complains about that.
Me rebounds.
That's terrible. Yeah, we gotta end on that note. Kid, enjoy the draft. Good luck. I hope you guys get a great player, everyone.
I hope we move up.
Wow, move up. I love it.
I hope we get ace. Why not?
Why not? Shoot for the stars, kid. Enjoy the draft, everyone. Good luck on your bets. And we'll see you guys on Thursday. Peace.